Hey guys, this is HelpingHans here, bringing you your Company Heroes 2 OKW Commando West tier list for all their commanders. First up, we have Breakthrough. So what do we think about Breakthrough? For me, Breakthrough is immediately S tier. And why is Breakthrough S tier? I think it's an amazing commander because it has so many good abilities and units. Panzer Fusiliers are one of the best units in the game. They can specialize to two different ways. You can give them G43s and go up to 6 men. 6 men squad is a good, survivability. The G43s are great at killing infantry units as well, and they have the ability to lob a grenade, lob an anti-tank grenade as well, so they have the snare capability against vehicles, and they can drop a deep flare, which gives you vision over the map. So absolutely amazing. One of the best, I would say, yeah, for me, if I was going to have an OKW unit infantry-wise, Panzer Fusiliers all day long, my favourite Axis infantry unit in the game, I would say, hands down. Pun intended. Right, then we have Breakthrough Tactic. Oh, so one other thing about the Panzer Fusiliers is that they can also specialise with double Shreks. They stay have a 5-man squad, get 2 Shreks, gives them a good anti-tank capability as well. So you can get, a couple with G43s, and maybe a couple with Shreks. So, great way to counter armour there as well. Now, Breakthrough Tactics is the ability you can pop on for some munitions, which allows you to capture territory and neutralise it a lot faster, which is great. You can use this in combination. Maybe your teammate is austere. They've gone for the encirclement doctrine with close the pocket ability, and with that ability activated, then it kills all the enemy units that have basically been encircled. Breakthrough Tactics allows you to neutralise those points a lot faster, so you can have good synergy there. Sturm Officer is a great kind of officer unit, as it can activate an ability, well, it's a couple of abilities. It can do a marked target on enemy infantry, so you can whittle down an enemy unit faster. It also has the ability to force a retreat of one specific infantry squad. That could be a machine gun or a high tier, maybe like allied infantry unit, like shock troops or rangers. So that's pretty sick as well. And they have the ability to lob a smoke grenade to break the line of sight of maybe machine guns and things like that. So that's also very useful. Assault artillery, not the best off-map barrage, but it is pretty good to target a zone and just completely destroy anything around that certain zone, and lob loads of smoke as well afterwards, which could plan the way for a nice assault. And then the Jagdtiger, probably the best tank destroyer in the game at the end game. It isn't very maneuverable, but it does pack a huge punch. Great at killing tanks at a long range. And then you can also, I believe it's got some kind of a HE type round as well, which you can use to hit infantry targets as well for a munitions cost. So yeah, Jagdtiger, great there. So overall, for me, Breakthrough, easily S tier commander. Next up is Elite Armor. Let's have a quick look at this then. So Elite Armor, what do we think of Elite Armor? 221. I think that's a great unit. Very good in early game to be able to chase down maybe a sniper squad or infantry units that can't lob anti-tank grenades, like the Tommy sections you'll be up against. As soon as you get your SWS truck out, you can then call it onto the field. Quite nice in early game. And then you can lock down a sector late game, so it has utility late game to then increase your resource income. So that's great. Also has vehicle detection as well, I believe, which is good for spotting units through the fog of war. Emergency repairs, also a great ability here. Now that will, you can activate on any of your vehicles to repair them when they're out of combat, and it will repair them for a decent chunk of their HP. And also, if let's say they've been engine disabled, you could pop that on, and then it'll get them repaired quickly. So it's nice to be able to spend munitions to get repairs, because you really only have one Stern Pioneer, maybe 2, and that Stern Pioneer, might be busy planting mines, might be doing other tasks or fighting. Not all the time will it have the chance to repair. So emergency repairs is a really nice kind of like munitions spend ability you can spend your munitions on. Panzer Commander, I think this is great as well. I like this ability to give your Panzer IVs or your Tiger or whatever have you with the Panzer Commander, because it will increase their accuracy, and it will also allow you to call in off-map artillery barrages. So basically, this by having a Panzer Commander, it gives you this kind of build and actually an off-map artillery barrage as well. You don't see too many people utilize it, but it's really nice. You can maybe send a Panzer IV round the back, drop the barrage maybe on an artillery piece, and get it out of there before something chases it down. It's pretty nice. Then you've got the heat anti-tank, the high explosive anti-tank heat shells. This is great to pop on all your vehicles when you're fighting heavily armored targets. You want to get that penetration chance on maybe the Pershing or Churchills, things like that. That's great to be able to pop on. especially in conjunction with things like, I think the Pumas have the ability, guys. The Pumas have heat. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Pumas can benefit from the anti-tank heat rounds as well, right? Yep, I think they can, yeah, for the Panzer IV as well. So I think that's great. You know, the Panzer as well will benefit from that as well, because that its gun might always penetrate maybe a church or something like that. So that's very useful there. And then also the Sturmtiger, an absolute white machine. Sturmtiger is an amazing unit. Does have a long reload time, but if you want to wipe vehicles, infantry, whatever have you, Sturmtiger is great. And, you know, you can use things like smoke screens from an LEIG to screen for it to get it close, lob the round over walls and things like that to maybe get some good wipes. Sturmtiger is amazing. So overall, for me, this is an amazing commander, S tier. Firestorm is the next commander we have here. Now, Firestorm, you get the Hetzer. You can build that later on at your Schwerpanzer headquarters, I believe. Pretty decent. You know, flamethrower is nice, but it's not that durable. It's quite squishy. But it is very good against infantry. You have the assault package, so you can get the flamethrower on your Sturms. Volks can get MP40s as well, which gives them better CQC damage if you want them, and some also grenades, just standard grenades as well, I believe. And then you got the incendiary munitions for EIG, so if you're up against someone who's playing Brits and doing Sim City, building lots of mortar pits and Bofors, as well as the 25-pounders and things like that. Was it 17-pounder, sorry. Then this would be great to counter Sim City. And also like, you know, any kind of like, or forward assembly stations and stuff like that. The Opal Blitz is great as a forward healing thing. So let's say allows you to maybe skip going battle group headquarters, potentially, and go for the Opal Blitz truck if you want your healing instead, and you can go mechanized. So it allows for maybe a bit more diverse builds, which is kind of nice. Also, it could be a troop carrier. You could put you guys in it and drive them to the front line quickly. And then you've got the off-map Stuka Barrage, which is a pretty decent off-map strike. Is it? Because for me though, it's not offering enough anti-tank capability. So, but I would say overall it's a pretty decent commander. I'd probably put it in maybe A tier for me personally. I wouldn't put it in S tier because it's lacking some kind of hard-hitting anti-tank capability. The other commanders, you know, you got heat rounds, Sturmtiger and white tanks as well. And then obviously you got the Shreks and Panzer Fusiliers and the Jagdtiger as well there. But for me, I think Firestorm is A tier at the moment, maybe even B tier. But it's pretty good. Then we have Fortifications. Now, this is a commander which lies on, as you probably guessed it, in place support units like the PaK-43 and the LEFH. Based on that alone, that is going to make me downgrade this commander massively because LEFHs and PaKs are very easily to destroy with off-map artillery strikes, and even like Pino can rush up and lob a satchel charge on it, things like that. Anything that's static and can't move is not good in my book, so I'm not going to rate it very highly. Heavy fortifications, Stern Pioneers can construct tank traps. S-mines are great, flak emplacements maybe not so much in trenches, that's okay. And Volks Grenadiers construct bunkers and barbed wire. I need someone to correct me here. Can their bunkers? I think it's just standard bunkers. It's not concrete bunkers, so it's just little machine gun bunkers. So that's not great. Yeah, it's just normal bunkers, right? And those bunkers can those normal bunkers for OKW actually upgrade to like the medical variant, or is it just machine gun variant? I need to remember. I haven't played this commander in ages because I'm just not a fan of it. No, it just can't. It's just machine gun bunkers. So yeah, not great in my opinion. For the Fatherlands, a very mid ability as well. Defensive bonus for infantry, it's okay. And then you got the zeroing artillery later on. Increase, you know, okay artillery, very good against, I guess, static targets and things like that. But apart from that, nah, it's a very mid commander. I mean, LEFH if your opponent doesn't have any way to kill them they haven't selected any off map, then I guess LEFH could be quite good because you can get them to Vet 4 and 5 with OKW. But for me, I don't rate this very highly. So for me, Fortifications, it's probably the worst out of them all. I'll probably put it in a D tier. Right, then we've got Ground Offensive. So once again, Panzer Fusiliers, as previously discussed, Panzer Fusiliers is great, anti-infantry and anti-tank option. Stuka Smoke Drop, pretty damn good as well. You know, can help in 1v1s and all the way up to 44s with, you know, saving yourself or saving teammates' units and stuff, maybe, or help for screening it for an attack. So the Stuka Smoke Drop is very handy. Infrared SGG package on your Obers, that's pretty decent. Not great, not the best thing ever, but, you know, Obers with SGGs, pretty good. Then you've got Panzer Command, previously discussed. That's pretty damn good for giving your vehicles increased accuracy and the off-map artillery strike. And the Tiger Tank for OKW. You can get to veterancy 4 and 5. Very, very strong. So, with all this in consideration, is it an S tier commander? I think it's very good. How does it compare to something like the Breakthrough Doctrine? I think this is more of an A. I mean, the Tiger and Panzerfuses are good, but Jagdtiger gives you that really strong anti-tank capability late game. And to be fair, I mean, you can get Panzer IVs do the job of a Tiger tank pretty much as well. Not as durable, but I kind of feel like I'd see myself getting maybe a Panzer IV for anti-infantry and a Panther for anti-tank, rather than just going for a Tiger, because the Tiger is kind of like you can kind of isolate it and take it out. You can say the same thing for a Jagdtiger, but the Jagdtiger you can kind of sit it back. It's got a lot longer range than the standard Tiger, so you can kind of keep the Jagdtiger fairly safe because it's got long range, and you can have other units in front of it screening for it. Whereas the Tiger needs to be right in the mix and and constantly on the front line. So I don't know. Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to give it an A tier personally. I think it's a pretty good commander. I do like going it often, but I don't think it's as good as Breakthrough and Elite Armor. Next up, we have Luftwaffe Ground Forces. So once again, we got heavy fortifications, fairly mid. Stuka, Smoke Drop, good. Fallschirmjägers. Now, they used to have the ability to Panzerfaust. I believe they've lost it. They're also a 4-man squad, which means they're very susceptible to being wiped. They do some decent DPS, but overall, they're kind of mid in my eyes. You can go for Obers instead, so there's no real reason. The difference between the Falls, they have kind of the ambush chance. You can maybe get a good ambush with them, but that's okay. Then you've got Valiant Assault Inspire mobile infantry troops, improving their combat capabilities and allowing to sprint when out of combat. Pretty mid, to be fair. It's okay. I'd rather save my munitions up for the last ability, which is Airborne Assault, where you get the 2 Ju-87s, Stukas that will strafe and suppress infantry and patrol the area, and they also will do some damage to vehicles as well with their 37mm cannons. You can also reinforce your Fallschirmjägers when that ability is active. This is an okay ability. Can be good when utilising it, though. If your opponent has got any anti-air capability, it kind of neuters it pretty hard. Any kind of loiter isn't the best because it can be shot. Those planes can be shot down fairly quickly. So overall, Luftwaffe for me is fairly mid. I think is it better than fortifications? I don't think so. I think it's probably the same tier as fortifications, to be honest. I think it's B tier. You think it's better than fortifications? Why? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's B tier. Oh wait, it's B tier. Yeah, the Fools were but they weren't doing that great against Rangers, as we saw. They were kind of struggling against the Rangers. I don't know. Do they? What do we think? I don't know. Depends. The LFH can really work well if your opponent hasn't got any off-map. That's relying on your opponent not having off-map. Yeah, I'm going to leave it where it is, to be honest. I think I'm going to leave it where it is. I think it is probably the same class as on D tier. Right, then we have Overwatch. Now, Overwatch is, in my eyes, pretty good. Jaeger Light Infantry, they are a 4-man squad. So again, they're a bit susceptible to getting wiped. But they can upgrade with G43s. They have the ability to like ambush units. They can scavenge supplies as well, which is useful. They haven't got any anti-tank capability. I think they can lob flares. So they've got that vision. So they've got some utility there. And they kind of more sit back. You don't really get them in the meat grinder. You kind of sit them back and snipe from afar. And they got, they're decent for counter sniping as well, potentially. So they're pretty good. I think I'd rate them better than Fallschirmjägers, maybe. And they can booby trap. So that's good as well. And then you've got the early warning systems. So that gives you warning flares you can pop on your points to give you income where enemies are pushing around from. Then you've got Goliaths as well, which can be utilized to great effects. You can blow up big, loads of squads, or take out potentially, weaken vehicles, or take even them out. And you can, in conjunction with an LEIG with smoke, you can do really well with that. So Goliaths, super good for me. For the Fatherland, as we previously discussed, is pretty mid. LEFH once again, dependent if your opponent has off map or not, but can be really good. Sector Assault is pretty. I think the Sector Assault is better than the JU-87 run, maybe? Is it? I think so. Stukas will automate recon attack enemy units. They spot for themselves, which is great, so you don't need anything to spot for them. So that's good. And it has bigger range, as Wrecker in chat is saying as well. So I think, yeah, for me, Overwatch is very good. Is it S tier? Probably not, though. I'd probably put it maybe in something like A tier. Goliaths are very good. Is it A or is it B? I don't know. Maybe Goliaths, kind of. Thing is, once your opponent realizes you got Goliaths, they're quite easy to spot with sweepers, and you can kind of catch them off. They also have a very distinctive engine noise, so you can hear them coming through the fog of war. So actually, yeah, I'm going to probably put them down to B tier. So yeah, Goliaths can be counted once once your opponent is caught onto it. Then we have Scavenge. Now, Scavenge, we've got the Ostwind, which you can build without your Schwer. Ostwind, good at the infantry, good at shooting planes down. So, but the Schwer itself shoots planes down if you activate it. So you don't really need the Ostwind for anti-air. I guess if there's a lot of anti-air on the field, you want to shoot your planes down faster, and Ostwind makes sense. You've also got thorough salvage. Salvage will take more time, but you also get munitions. And your Volks can be upgraded with repair kits. That can be handy as well. That's a pretty decent ability. That's higher than mid-tier, I think. I think thorough salvage is pretty good, actually. Then you got Jaegers. Again, as we sussed, they're pretty good. Infiltration tactics, lots of grenades. Pretty okay, pretty decent. And then you got the nice, the howitzer barrage. The more munitions stored up to about 300, you get even more shells that hit, which can be quite good. So if you want to clear an area, that's pretty nice. Not any real anti-tank capability with this commander, which brings it down. So it's not like a generalist. It's kind of more specialized to be anti-infantry, this commander, to be honest. But I think, yeah, for me, Scavenge, I think that's on a B tier level. Maybe B tier or C tier. No, I'm going to put it down as C tier. I think Overwatch is better with Goliath. I think I'd prefer that. And then finally, we have Special Operations. Boom, S tier. Why is this S tier? Radio silence, very, very strong. Underrated ability. People don't realize how strong this is. If you activate this, you can literally, especially in like those competitive 1v1 matches, you can really get the jump on your opponent and attack from an angle where they're not paying attention and really get some good wipes with radio silence. That's a very strong ability. Sturm Officer, yep, again, very, very good officer unit. Mark target, force retreating units. Infiltration tactics, very strong as well. Clearing lots of infantry with grenades or support weapons. SG package, fairly mid, but the Panther Command Tank is amazing. And the Panther Command Tank is really good at all ranges. It will improve the sight and movement of all nearby vehicles. It has the ability to pop a mark target on an enemy heavy or any vehicle to help increase the penetration chance to wipe it. It's so hard to kill as well, generally, I find. And in the right hands, it's a godlike unit. So Panther Command Tank is probably one of the best Axis vehicles in the game, if not the best. So there we go. I wonder if you guys agree with my my tier list. I definitely feel like that is pretty good overall. I think that's it's the only way OKW gets a marked target. Yes, that is correct. I don't believe they get it any other way. So there you go. So overall we got, so in S tier we have Breakthrough, Elite Armor, Special Operations. In A is Firestorm, and Ground Offensive. B is Overwatch, C is Scavenge, D Fortifications, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces. There we have it. Also, this guy has got some sick-ass glasses on, yeah. He's got the shades. So guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and want more content, check up over here and over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the button down here. To catch you in the next video, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.